People's Fund arose out of the youth rebellion of the late 1960s, the movement against the war in Vietnam, the struggle to get rid of racism on the mainland in the United States and here in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it related to the Native Hawaiian struggle, the struggle to preserve culture, to fight evictions on the behalf of communities. In the late 1960s, 1969, the churches funded Youth Action, Inc., which was designed to involve young people positively in making a change in society. 2 years later, in 1971, we decided, why just limit it to young people? Why not broaden it out to the whole society? And so the People's Fund was incorporated, was founded, given a board of directors and a mission. And that mission was really to draw together the grassroots activists to raise money from small donors, from people who wanted to see Hawaii changed and to see peace brought about and to see a better, more just society. And since 1971, it's grown to what it is today. A lot of the same issues are in Hawaii and in the Pacific. The eviction of people as capital comes in for golf courses and hotels, the attack on local culture, local lifestyles, the rising of the war culture again in the Middle East. In the 60s, it was Southeast Asia. Today, it's all over the world. So there's a need today to raise even more money and to involve more people in projects that will set a model. And so People's Fund is designed today, I think it's very exciting because it will be a partnership between people with resources. Many of the people in the 60s have become lawyers, professionals, have become established in the society, but they still have their values. So our hope today, I think, is to make that partnership and to move resources to new models.
Well, I was active 10, 15 years ago, and really haven't been active, over the last 8, 9 years, I guess, since I've been in the business. And the last couple of years, I've been raising money here in our office, Prudential Beach Securities, for Aloha United Way and that type of thing. And just thinking that while they're raising money for good causes and helping the homeless and all that type of thing, I mean, there might be a more significant way, to raise money that can make a change in the community. And then, being in touch with the people who are in the People's Fund that asked me to donate money, I became interested, got involved on the board, and now I'm helping them to raise money, which also helps to raise consciousness and create a climate of change. And frankly, I don't see any other type of group or organization that would fund a group that would raise those type of questions in that light. A lot of the struggles that made gains in the 60s, like the struggle of women, anti-abortion, civil rights, a lot of these things got set back or pushed back or are being turned back in the 80s. And so more and more people now are coming to the forefront to try to solidify those gains, and those type of struggles are going to come to the forefront. And I think there's a role for people like myself to play in terms of raising money for the people who are on the front lines in those struggles. I mean, those are good, those are valid things that need to be upheld and shouldn't be rolled back.
Times have changed since we first began in the 60s, but our mission is still the same. What we're doing is gearing up and re-strategizing to meet the challenges and the new problems of the 90s. Last year, People's Fund joined a national coalition of progressive foundations called the Funding Exchange. This is a group of 15 sister funds with the same mission of supporting projects that are geared to positive social change in our region. And this, to me, is very, very exciting because it shows that there's a national upswelling of support that has been building for all these years, and it's going forward. We don't want to put Band-Aids on problems. We want to help fund the process to find solutions. Over the years, we've had this kind of slogan that we've used, change, not charity. And I think that sums it up. That's really what we're all about.
You have to ask yourself, when considering a contribution to People's Fund, what else could I do that has the same impact, the same likelihood of a real change. And the fact is, there isn't much in this state that offers the opportunity for creative change that People's Fund does. When you invest in People's Fund, as with most social change organizations, what you're investing in very directly is people and ideas. You're usually talking about a small organization with a few committed individuals who are directly involved in the communities where they work, who have a vision of how those communities ought to operate and what's important to the people who live in those communities. People are always looking for investments that are going to be on the cutting edge of tomorrow. Social change funding is the same sort of thing. You're trying to look for organizations that are going to make a real difference down the line. There's no guarantee about that any more than there's a guarantee in a financial investment. All you're guaranteed with People's Fund is a commitment, an honesty, and a belief in progressive change. Now, to me, that's a reasonable series of things to put your money on. Basically, you could call it a growth fund for hope, an organization that tries to come up with real alternatives. To me, that's an exciting opportunity.
We have on the neighbor islands some very big challenges as well as some incredible opportunities. And one thing that we treasure on the neighbor islands is the quality of our life, our rural landscapes, our sense of community, our small towns and traditions. And one of the challenges is how to grow and evolve and still keep and retain those values that seems like everywhere around the world they're looking for. And I think that by alternative ways of economic development, by participation at a grassroots level in the decision-making process, we would have a better chance of finding those ways and meeting those challenges. And I think to the extent that the People's Fund can support and empower that kind of grassroots participation and development, it'll be a great contribution to the community at large.
Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, no, no. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope